So, we're going to get into the interview. Are you ready for your first question?
Yeah, shoot.
Okay. So, how did you get into music production?
I think it was pretty much, I don't know. I had a phase when I was like growing up where I was just trying a lot of things, and I tried drawing, I tried writing, like writing books and stuff. And I was just like, it was just like maybe like a 1 or 2 year period where I got like obsessed with a single thing, and
Oh.
then I switched and switched and switched. And one of those happened to be music. I think mainly because of like the 2011, 2012 like David Guetta tracks. Like there's this album, it's called Nothing But the Beat from David Guetta, and I just think that album is just full of bangers. I just loved it so much back then, and I just really like that sort of dance music that also had like vocals and and melodies, like David Guetta's tracks with like Usher and Sia and all of that.
Oh,
Like those are so awesome. So I was just so inspired by that, and I was like, you know what, whatever. And I think the most appealing part about music production was that you don't need to know how to play instruments. You can still create music, which is has been my focus for me, like always. Because I think some people are more like oriented towards playing instruments, right? Which is
yeah.
also pretty fun. They like, but they usually like to play like stuff that other people make. But there, some people are just like really good, right? But I
Yeah.
was more about creating, and I wanted to skip the learning instruments step. So I just like immediately just jumped right on like Ableton and downloaded that, and yeah, I just started messing around, and then it just I like 6 years later, I'm still here. So
Oh my
yeah,
God, 6 years. Oh my lordy lord. Does it feel like a long time for you, or does it feel like yesterday?
no, it kind of feels like a long time because I do associate that with like lots of things that were going at the moment when I started like making music. So I do like it feels like a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's freaking awesome though. Hold up, let me write because I'm gonna write stuff down, but in between, so that way when I go back to this page, I can remember parts of it. But yeah,
Wow, wow, wow. I like that. A
yeah, I
dedicated.
try. I try because like I can't sit here and be like oh like listening and stuff like that, and I would be lying if I told you I'm gonna remember all of that tomorrow because of it. So it's like
Yeah.
in order to even because this does mean a lot to me. I when I say I don't care about viewers, I don't care about any of all that. I care about you and I care about your story. I mean it. Like I'm writing shit down because I want to remember this.
Yeah, it's like, especially I guess after so many interviews, like you cannot just hold 100% of the info, all the time. Like, that's why
Yeah.
I totally. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So the next question is, have your parents been supportive of your music? Has there been any struggles within that with your family?
uh, yeah, 100%. I mean, like, one of them is like 100% supportive on board with everything. Always like, uh, I would always ask my parents for like video games when I was younger, and they would always say like no. They would always be like, no, you can't play video games. They're not gonna spend money on that. Or like something nice that I wanted. Like, I mean, I don't know. Let's say like everybody had like a nice phone, and I just had like a shitty phone, and I was like, can I like get a nice one? And he was like, no. But then when it comes to music, I would always be like, oh, can I get like a new computer? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. Can I get I don't know, whatever, and like a MIDI keyboard? They'll be like, yeah, sure. They would always say yes, about those like artistic things. So I think in general, yeah, like they've been pretty supportive, I'd say. Like they were never like, no, we don't want you to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one of them was super supportive, the other one's like neutral, but at least
Oh,
like, yeah, yeah, but none of my parents was like, oh, we don't want you to do this. Like that has never happened to me, so I think I'm really lucky.
gotcha. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Because a lot of people, I don't know if you know anybody with situations like that, they're not supportive or they don't see you making like an income from doing stuff like that. They just don't understand and they just aren't supportive. So it's like, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%. I definitely know people in like maybe like other areas of the industry, like back home, like maybe like making films or stuff like that. That like their parents are really like, no, you gotta like work on like the family business. Like this is not gonna work.
Oh
Like
my
very
God.
So
Oh my
I'm
God.
lucky.
There's no room for creativeness. But that's what I don't understand is, wouldn't you think that parents want your kid to be creative?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I think it's the risk, right? Because like honestly, like out of like 100 kids that try to make it, like probably like one will, like statistically. And I guess you have to like know that and still do it because there's no
Yeah.
way. You have to know that and still go because like what else are you gonna do instead? Like I feel like people that are creative and it's really it's gonna sound so pretentious, but like when you're creative, I think you're really it's like something that wants to come out, and it'll come out either way. But I think if someone tries to suppress that, you're gonna suffer a lot and you're gonna go crazy. That's what happens. Like, I mean, and I've like people talk about that like in psychology and everything, and I think I've experienced it too. Like if you're a creative person and like your parents are trying to shut you down, like you're gonna go crazy. Or if you work like a job that's like not creative, then you're also gonna go crazy. What's gonna happen is like you're gonna work 9 to 5 with a job that maybe it's not creative, so you don't like it, and then you're gonna go home and then not sleep because you're doing your creative thing because you need it to live, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with the parents thing, I think it's more about the risk. Like they want you to like I don't know, be a doctor or something, like go for something safe, right? They're like, yeah, this is not safe, and they want the best for their kids. So I sort of get it, but yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think better. I mean, you can't force it, right? Like, if someone wants to be a musician and you want to force them to be like a doctor or something, like, I don't know if they're not gonna be happy their whole life, if they're being forced to do something they don't like.
Yeah, I think it comes from a place like with the parents. They want you to do something that's always going to be there. Say everything went to shit and there's like a zombie apocalypse. They want you to
Yeah,
do something that's like gonna help people. So like being a doctor, that'll always come in handy. Or
yeah,
or being like, I don't know, something that'll never go away or never go out of style. So I guess food or something like that. But not everybody wants to do that, and that's assuming that the world will go to shit. And I don't know. Sure.
I mean, yeah. Although to be fair, the world is already shit in some places. Like you could say that. Yeah, I mean, some places are fucked up. To be honest, like I feel that. I really, yeah. Even in some, I don't know. There's like lack of and like shit like that. You could say it looks like a zombie apocalypse in some places of the world. It's fucked up. We need to do what
Yeah,
we can do to, yeah.
exactly. I love that. Oh my gosh. So, next question. We are doing so well. I know we just started, but like I'm all excited. I really do love interviewing. Okay, so next question is, how was growing up in El Salvador? El Salvador. Sorry.
Yeah, um, I don't know. It was nice. I mean, uh, let's see what I can tell you about growing up in El Salvador. I don't know. It's always funny whenever like people, like here in Canada, like because I'm in Canada now. By the way, I don't know if I told you, but whenever people ask me about El Salvador, I always pretend like El Salvador is like this backwards nation and stuff like that. And I always pretend that I don't know what new stuff is. Like I always like, I'm always like, oh wait, how does this work? We don't have this in El Salvador and stuff like that. And I'm like pointing at like a light bulb or something like that. Obviously, we do have it in El Salvador. I always
Yeah.
joke about. Yeah, no, it's like I don't know. It was nice. I grew up like I think in a nice area, and I miss my people from there, and I really have
Aw.
like I guess like a strong feeling of wanting to help my country because I was like born in one of the nicer areas, but some of the areas are not that nice, and there's like a lot of crimes and like a lot of lack of opportunities. And I'm like a firm believer that like people have talent like everywhere, but you just need to like create an environment that like encourages that talent, and then you can like transfer the know-how to other people, but that's not really happening. So maybe I can make it happen eventually. But yeah, I mean, growing up in El Salvador was nice. Yeah, it's
Oh,
sunny. That's something I miss. Like here in Vancouver, it's like cloudy all the time, and I hate it.
really?
I
Oh
don't
my
hate Vancouver.
gosh.
I hate the clouds, the rain.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm gonna put nice. No, I'm kidding. Oh my gosh.
That's like, I mean, I had
That's,
fun. Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, I want to travel like to, I mean, Do I don't know. I don't know. Like, I have traveled, okay? So, like, I have before the accident. But now that the accident happened, it's like as if I didn't travel. So, what do you think? Like, I don't, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I would love to see just other places like El Salvador and other places like Germany and France and all of those. Have you been to Europe and like other?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been to Europe. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. I was maybe like 13 or something like that. I wish I was older, so I would have appreciated everything better because I think I really didn't. I went to like the mainstream places like Rome and Paris and like London
Uh,
and all those, but I think I should have, I would if I would have like if right now I did that like little Europe tour that I did like years ago, I would really read more about the history and like be aware of the significance of the places where I go and just do more random stuff. And I will also try to like if COVID wasn't a thing, I would also try to like party with people there too. I feel like that would
yeah.
be fun. But yeah, I mean, I've been to Europe and stuff. Do you want travel tips for Central America for Salvador?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, El Salvador is really known for, I think it's got really good waves for surfing if you're into that. Like, I don't know if you are, but
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not very good at surfing. Have I like I'm not my balance is still not 100%. I work on it every day, but it is just rough. So me on a surfboard wouldn't last very long, but that's really cool. It's like it's pretty.
Yeah, I suck too at surfing, so don't worry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's like, yeah, supposedly the waves are nice. Like, I'm not that much into surfing, but that's what I've heard. And there's always, like, in that area, it's called El Tunco, which means
Oh,
like the pig or something like that. I don't know why, but in that area, yeah, like it's always like really sunny and everything, and you always see tourists there. So
oh
apparently,
wow.
it's like a nice spot for surfing. Yeah, I mean, if someone who's listening is interested in going surfing in El Salvador, yeah,
That
yeah,
would be so cool. I didn't even know you could do that there. So like that's pretty freaking cool. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, next question. How do you get new ideas for music like when you get stopped, you know? And what's your music process? Like what do you do?
yeah. I mean, the new ideas thing. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. To be honest. I don't really know. I feel like I was gonna answer this questions like super like this question like super confidently and whatever, but to be honest, I don't know. Whenever I get stuck, I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Like I'm always like I stop and I'm like, oh, I'm lost. I think usually what I try to do, this is a bad habit. I think if you are working on a project, like writing a song or whatever, or producing something, and you get stuck, I think take a break. I think that's what I would say. Take a break and wait your mind to refresh, and then maybe you go to the gym. You're in hearing this playlist, and then you hear this song, and then you're like, oh, this song has like a nice instrument. Maybe I should add that to my song, and then you try it, and then it works out, and they're like, oh, that was nice. But one thing that I think maybe you shouldn't do is like if you already been sitting down for like 4 hours and you keep trying to make ideas, like flow. I think at one point you're just like losing your time, and I do that all the time because I really want to like, it's a bad thing to do, but I think if for me it's like okay, I'm sitting down in this session and like I want to finish. I have a goal for the session. I'm like, okay, I want to finish the arrangement before tonight. And
Yeah.
the problem with that is like sometimes it doesn't flow, but when it doesn't flow, I just sit there for hours trying to force it. But I think it would be way better if I would have just take a break, and
Yeah.
just go look somewhere else. Look somewhere else for ideas. Like if you're making like you know, a big room track or something like that, then don't listen to big room because you're just gonna sound generic. Go listen to something else. Go listen to I don't know, Indian music. Maybe that's how Kashmir did that, like Kashmir who has like this like big room like Indian style and stuff. Maybe
Yeah.
that's how he thought about like combining those things. So I would just say try get influences from something else. It could even be a movie. Like you could be watching a movie and you hear the score of the movie and you're like, oh, this would be really nice. I could add something like
Uh
this. Or you hear like a nice chord progression that you want to like steal from the movie and you're like, okay, that's really good. Or you just like an arrangement. And yeah, I think that would be my tip, and that's how I usually try to do things. Just like get influences from somewhere else.
that that makes sense. Does that usually happen a lot? Like do you find yourself having to take a lot of breaks and like stopping yourself?
I think I should more. I should do that more. I
Oh.
don't do it. I'm too much like I don't know. I'm always like so obsessed with like no, I gotta finish now, 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 now. Especially like right now I just finished my final exams and everything from university. Like I'm probably not gonna take another exam ever in my life, which is crazy. But back when I was like in university, it was like this is so funny how I say back when I was in university. This was 2 days ago, but but I was pretty busy. So the thing is, I always had my schedule and I always had it planned out. And I don't think that's the best idea. Like I always had it. Okay, I'm gonna make music from 2 to 5 p.m. or something like that. But it's just really forcing it.
Gotcha, gotcha. Because you would only give yourself a certain amount of time to get it done. Get something done going on, and that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. Like holy
Yeah.
shit.
And then when you take breaks, it's like I had less time for studying and stuff like that. But right now that I have more time, I definitely will take those creative breaks and probably go for a run or something.
Oh, good. It's gonna be hard. I know. Like when I graduated and I don't, from college and shit, and now I don't. I just quit. I didn't want to keep going, to be honest with you. But
Mm.
I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. I was like, there is no homework anymore. There is no studying. It's like, so you're gonna have so much time on your hands. I'm gonna be interested to see how you deal with that because I had a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, we'll see. I think, yeah, yeah, especially it's hard. Like, I guess it happens to most people at this age. Like, you don't know exactly what you want to do in life, or like, you're not sure what the right path is. Yeah, and I think that's pretty normal like to get scared about that. So it's like, yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. The same thing that you said, like how your day works. Like, you let shit happen, and it'll be fine at the end. Yeah, that's my approach for this. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's always, believe it or not, it's always fine. It's all about your perspective and looking at it. So if you don't believe it's fine, then it won't be.
It won't be.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So, what is your opinion on labels and numbers? What is most important to you? Do you think the label is more important? Do you think the music is more important? Or like having fans and people listening to it? You know, there's
Yeah,
a
I think
weird
it's
balance.
yeah, I think when it comes to like the numbers, your streams, and then the numbers on Instagram, how many followers you have, and then the quality of your music, that's always like a struggle that you're gonna have to balance, right? Because I think as an artist, you want to create the music you like, but then you also have to think of what other people like, and you also have to think about what labels like, and you have to make a decision when you make a track. You're like, am I making this 100% for myself, or am I trying to make something like kind of mainstream maybe, or am I trying to like who am I trying to appeal to with my music? And sometimes there is a trade-off, and it sucks because sometimes you want to do something, but it won't be commercially successful. So,
Um,
I mean, yeah, I just think the streams like don't matter because you gotta like if you want to like make it in the music industry like as an artist, then I think focusing on streams could be a good idea, but it shouldn't really be a measure of your success. I just think you should keep it in mind, right? Like keep like the numbers are there, and they're a measure of like how many people are playing your music, but that can be due to multiple factors, and maybe your song went viral on TikTok or something like that, and that doesn't mean it's better, what I'm saying. So if your music is not getting a lot of streams, I don't think it also means it's bad music. Like maybe you're just having bad luck, or you don't have like the best distribution channels. So at that point, I would just say like I've been trying not to place my identity, and I don't think any artist should place their identity or who they are in the numbers because it's so volatile. How do I pronounce that in English? I don't know that word. I don't know how to pronounce
Volatile. I mean, I don't even know that word. I mean, I don't know a lot of words though.
it. Well, I think the meaning is like it changes so easily. It's unpredictable. Like the changes,
Oh, okay. Unpredictable.
then I mean, you could be doing well, and then apparently, like the trend goes, like there's a new trend, and then nobody cares about you anymore. You never know, right? So I would say like I really try not to put my identity on like streams and like plays and everything like that. But I always keep in mind like okay, I cannot just do everything independently, right? Like I need the labels, I need everything because like right now, like if you try to do everything yourself and like set your own label and do your own marketing and do your own everything, like it's gonna be really hard. It's a lot for one person to do. So I
Yeah.
think it's better to like outsource, the distribution. If you can get to labels, I mean, it'll be good. But like, wait, are you talking about record labels or labels in general? Like labels to of your music?
Whichever one you want. Whatever,
Okay,
whichever
okay,
one.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just assume record labels, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. But I mean, one thing that, well, if you're talking about labels in general, like as in like which genre you are and stuff like that, I would say the one thing that pisses me off is like the Spotify playlist, because they're always like, okay, there's like an EDM playlist and like a hip hop playlist, and those are the big ones, right?
Yeah.
But then if you do something that's like in between, there's no playlist for it, so they don't add them to the playlist. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
really, really hate that, because you have to make something generic in order to be added to these playlists, and you know, being added to the Spotify playlist is a huge thing, because
Yeah.
then you'll get more streams and you get more monthly listeners, and then that like boosts your profile and everything. But I really do hate that you gotta fit in a category, like if you want to be on these playlists, and that's like so annoying to me. I feel like I would want to make like a hybrid of like, jazz and hip hop and like Hispanic stuff, but like really nobody would know where to add that. That's what has been happening with some of my. I've been making some like funky tracks, but there's
Okay.
like really no much playlist for that. So that's an issue, right? Because labels see that, and labels are like, well, we won't be able to push this as hard, so let's say no, and then we're gonna say yes to like some generic track, because
Yeah.
it fits on the playlist. So that's just
Well,
something that annoys me. Yeah.
that is very annoying. That sounds very annoying. It's like you have to, but it's okay. Yes, it's very annoying, but I understand why it's necessary, because if you just come up with a hybrid, like you said, it's very cool, creative, new, and all of this stuff. They're not gonna look at it because nobody's really looking at it. Like, you have to
Yeah.
prove to them that that could be a bigger thing than it is, and then when they see with their eyes that it's bigger than they can imagine, and with their help it could be even bigger, then they might be into it. It's not even about the freaking music most of the time. It's not even about like, oh my gosh, you mix these two things together and it just sounds so incredible. It's more about, oh, is anybody watching it? Like, is anybody
Yeah.
listening to it? I'm like,
Yeah.
come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
It's a business after all. Like I understand both perspectives here. I mean, because that's my major, like business.
Oh
So,
yeah, gotcha.
yeah. So I mean, I get it, but it's really hard, from the eyes of an artist to see what the industry does, right? Because it's really not about the art. It's always like, the people that have the most money in the industry are not the artists. Like, it's like the managers of the labels and like all these people that are like in between, right? So, I mean, I do get it. In the end, it's a product, right? And
Yeah.
it's supply and demand. So if you try to sell something that's like low in demand, not many sales, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense from a business perspective. It's just kind of sad when you see it from like an artistic perspective.
Yeah, very true. I agree with that 100%. Like, freak yeah. Well, let me put. Okay, love to. Oh my gosh. Okay, got you. What? Wait. What was your opinion about? Because my opinion's more out of those three things: labels, music, and fans. I think the music is most important because it is the product, in my opinion. But which one did you think was the most important? Like, if you were
Oh
to
yeah.
put them on a 1 to 3, like 1 to 3.
Oh well, first obviously the music 100%. Like, have you seen my
Oh, okay.
Instagram? Like, it sucks. I never post. Like, I don't know how to use social media. I mean, obviously I care, about my audience and stuff like that. I just don't know how to grow it. I suck. I suck at it. I absolutely suck at it. I mean, I'm come here and make music and that's it. I wish everything would come by itself, but it doesn't work like that. So I got to step
Yeah.
up my game in social media. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be music first, maybe then fans, and then labels. I think that's how it would
Oh,
be.
okay. That cool. That's very fucking cool. I like that. Let me put that. Huh, huh. Interesting. You are an interesting person, my dude.
Thank you.
There's
Thank.
a. I can't even drink. I just tried to drink that. Oh my gosh. Next question. So, do you believe that it what? Do you believe? Oh, do you believe that it is important to have a presence on social media, and why? So you're trying to get better at it, but is it because it's getting hard being without it, or I'm just confused.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I honestly hate social media, especially Instagram. Just hate it so much. I think it's really bad for everybody. I think it fucks up mental health of teens. I think it can be good in some things, but like it I feel like in order for social media not to do as much harm as it is doing, should be like heavily regulated, but they're never gonna do that, because it's like their interests. So I mean, I think it's just really important right now, social media, because it's like, your base as an artist, and it gets you more opportunities. Like if you have 300,000 followers and then you have nice photos, like you look more quote unquote legit, you're
Yeah.
like more of a legit artist. So whenever like promoters want to see you and then they go on your profile and you see, oh wow, many people know this guy, so let's book him for like a gig or whatever, right? But then if they go to your profile, then you have like 500 followers and like shitty photos, and then they'll be like, oh, maybe this guy, is not as serious. So appearances really matter, right? Like it's just a fundamental thing of us humans, that we just see appearances and we trust appearances a lot, right?
Yeah. Technically,
Naturally, we
well,
trust them, right? Like it's your first instinct. So like if I think it's part of that, when it comes to like promoters or fans taking you seriously, like you're not just like a I don't know. I've heard like whenever people say like, "Oh, you're a SoundCloud rapper," stuff like that. It's a little bit of like, like they're trying to, they don't recognize you as a legit artist. But I think if you had like a very solid social media fan base, like they would recognize you. So I think it's just very important in terms of appearances and also in terms of the reach you have,
yeah.
because like the more you grow it, the better. So yeah, I think it's important. I just think it sucks that we have to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I would choose, like, oh, could I be better? Like, could I press a button and be better at social media? I'd be like, yeah, yeah, I have to.
Oh my
It,
gosh.
you gotta be willing to do stuff.
Yeah, I believe personally, obviously, because I think I'm pretty sure I told you that I want to be able to create music. It's just gonna take us a lot of time, and I'm just taking this time to learn as much as I can before I start doing stuff like that. Because those drums are just waiting. But I think it's important for the social media thing only because if you show that you have a nice appearance, people trust it because actions speak louder than words, and I believe that they always will. So if you go out of your way to take really nice photos, and you go out of your way to make sure that the music has an advertisement standpoint that is really good and intriguing, then they're going to take you seriously because they think that you're taking yourself seriously. You
Yeah,
know?
100%. It definitely works. Although I do think that ideally, like, the music should speak for itself, right? But it doesn't work
Oh
like
yeah.
that. It really doesn't. Like when people
Yeah.
say that, like, no, I'm not gonna promote my release because like the music speaks for itself. I'm like, dude, promote it. Doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. Music doesn't speak by itself. Like it maybe it should, right? But it doesn't. Like you said, you gotta work. You gotta show that you take yourself seriously. You gotta work in the appearances. Music by itself is really not enough right now.
Yeah. And yeah. I mean, that is just crazy how it is for all different artists, all different kinds of artists too. Because I know this one artist that I'm gonna interview next week or something like that, and he is so like a loner, just doesn't talk to people, just doesn't really care about it, but is so obsessed with the music. He has turned down so many offers and so many different things, but for some reason, everything he's been turning down and not giving a shit about social media and all of that stuff has made him better. And he hasn't even done anything he didn't want to do. So it is possible. But that's crazy. That takes so much confidence. You have to not be scared at all. Like they can't smell scared at all on you. That's just so fucking crazy. You have to have a level of confidence in your own music that is insane.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
I believe that you have that. So you give that off like straight away with your music. What? Got you, sorry. I thought you were gonna say something else.
But no, no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so labels usually want to change a song. Do you think that changing a song for a label is necessarily good?
Um, it's hard. It's hard because sometimes like you have this like ego of an artist, and you're like, no, I know what's better. Like, you don't tell me what to do, right? Whenever like the label's like, no, maybe you can do this. And I'm like, no, no, I don't want to. I know what's better. But I'm like, are you being true to yourself, or are you just being arrogant? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe half of the time you're being true to yourself. Maybe half of the time you're being arrogant, and you don't want anybody to change your music, even if it could be better with feedback. But I think in general, it would be not a good move to ignore what the label is saying. I mean, if the label tells you like change this, I do it. I do it all the time. And yeah, maybe it's not the original vision I had for the song, but sometimes it is for the better. I think, with one of my songs, sometimes what I do is like I send two versions and then they choose one version and with like two different drops. And I remember for one of my tracks, it's called I Won't Lie. I sent, to Dharma, to Kashmir's label.
Oh, yeah.
And so I sent two versions, and I liked version one more than version two, and he picked version two. So I was like, well, there's nothing I can do. He picked the other version, so whatever. But I think now that I listen back at it, I'm like, no, that was better. Like he made the right decision, right? But you never know. Like maybe if you change something for the label, like at the moment, maybe you're like emotionally attached to the song and you don't want to change it, but maybe it will be better with the changes. So I'd say in general, yeah, like do the changes the label does because like I don't know, you just gotta roll with it if you want to like
Yeah,
get
or at
signed.
least try it. Like try it out.
Yeah,
Free.
100%.
Oh. But yeah, and just be open-minded about it, right?
Yeah, being open minded is super important. Yeah, 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 yeah. Open minded about it. Yeah, yeah.
For sure. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. So what if you okay, this is gonna be an interesting question because this is gonna I'm asking you to like put yourself in a label as a
Okay.
label perspective. What advice would you give a producer, such as yourself or any producer, if you were the label? Okay, like give me a couple examples on like if they sent this in or if they sent that in, like what would you say?
Like advice for what in general?
Like if you're the label and there's this artist that is extremely passionate and really really well at making music, but there is just something off, how would you go about talking to him if you're the
um,
label?
yeah, I think it really depends. Uh, like I don't know. I feel like it would depend on what's wrong with the artist, right? Like, I mean, like I don't know. It's pretty hard to come up with like general feedback. Like, if I haven't, if I was like a label and then someone would send me a song and I see something lacking, I feel like okay, I would talk about that. But just like general feedback, I don't know what I would say. Because like I think it depends, on the artist. I think everybody needs to work on different things, so I'm not really sure what I would say.
Well, okay, so for example, to kind of help out a little bit, there are a lot of common mistakes that producers make when they're just starting out and they send their music all the time. So a lot of the time, labels won't even look at it. They're just like, no, you know what I mean? But I mean, saying if you're the label, would you do that? Would you look at everything everybody sent you, or if you see like a common mistake that you feel like, in your opinion, like, oh, you should know how to do that correctly? I mean, what would you
Oh,
do?
okay. Then I would say appearances again, because people trust
Um,
appearance. So write a nice email. Don't make it too long. Maybe two lines, but with like nice spelling and try to not, because like as soon as you see like mistakes in like grammar or spelling or stuff like that, and it seems informal, like your mind is already biased against the song. And then if you play the song and then it sounds like a little bad, like boom, then you just gotta, sometimes they just listen to the start of the song and they can tell
oh,
if it's going to be a good or a bad song after like 3 seconds of playing it because
oh wow.
you can hear the quality, and that has happened to me because I also get demos sent to me for collabs and like stuff like that. So I do sometimes just like play the song, and after like 3 seconds, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. After like 3 seconds, hear that and you're like, oh, okay, it's probably not the best quality because you already know, and sometimes, in EDM songs, like they start with like an intro, right? To mix. So sometimes you play it and if it's just like a kick and nothing else, you're like, wait, what is this, right? And then you
Right.
like move forward and then you were right, like maybe the track wasn't, you know, no, like the artist didn't put that more effort in the track. So yeah, I'd say like work on the presentation, send a nice link, have a nice SoundCloud, background, like maybe with your face or something, not just with like a logo or something, just to make it more formal. That's what I would say. Like work on the appearances and then make sure that like the first seconds of your track sound really, really nice.
Oh.
Because what they're probably gonna do is like they're gonna play the track and then fast forward to the drop. I think that's what they're gonna do. But
Oh, really?
as they play the track, um, make sure it sounds nice and then make sure the quality is nice. I think that's another thing that maybe producers should aim for, like production quality, because when it comes to melodies, it's hard to tell when something's like a really, really good melody or like a really bad melody. I mean, sometimes it depends on the tastes. So you never know what the tastes of the A&R are. But if you want to go safe, I'd say work in the quality because that's something that everybody will appreciate. Just the quality, the sounds, the mix, and the mastering. Like if that sounds nice and professional, then you can get away with a shitty melody. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
say work.
agree with that sometimes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's what I would
my
say.
bad. Oh no, I'm sorry, my bad. I hate that there's a small delay. So like
Uh,
sometimes, oh, it drives me nuts. But yeah, no, I
yeah,
wrote that
don't
down.
worry about.
That's pretty crazy. Like, have you like do you how do you know that that's what they do? Like they listen to it for 3 seconds and judge it.
I'm pretty sure. I think I've heard it in some interviews too, as well. That's what they do. Uh, and I've seen it also like in some, sometimes artists do like live streams, and in the live streams they get the demo sent to them, right? And they don't listen to the whole thing. Like they immediately just fast forward to the drop and boom, listen to the drop. And I know that's what they do because like it's just the most efficient thing, and especially if it's like a dance track, like who cares about the build up? Like you listen to the drop first, and then if the drop is nice, then they'll be like, okay, I'm hooked. Let's listen to the whole track. But if they fast forward to a drop and it sounds really bad, then there's no point in listening to the whole track. It's just a more efficient thing, right? Because if you think about it, if the track is like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, and you have to listen to like 1,000 tracks a day, you're just not gonna make it, right? So that's
Yeah.
why they only listen for like what, like 10 seconds per track, and only listen to the one that really catch their attention. It's just more efficient.
That I'm gonna get that down too. That's pretty interesting. Cause like there's people that like assume or guess what they do, but like it's very interesting to know. Um, but anyways, next question. So do you want to tell me or us, I should say, a little bit about your Amsterdam trip?
Oh, Amsterdam. Yeah. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, yeah, I heard about
Yeah.
that.
I think it was a really okay. So basically, I just went to play for like Hardwell's revealed label night, and it was nice. It was funny because I met some people that I had talked to like only online. Like some other producers and stuff like that. And we had talked online. I knew their names. I knew who they were, but like I didn't really know them in person, and they were all there. So that was really fun. And I really just saw, met some really nice producers that were always like really, really supportive. Like and it's just nice how the community works. Like I've like, fuck, like I've talked to these people online, and now I'm meeting them for the first time, and like it feels like we've been friends for like a long time because they're just so nice, right?
Well,
And
that's
it's like everybody's
awesome.
just supportive of each other and whatever. I remember one time I was like in line to buy something, and I was like, there was like this guy behind me, and then we just started talking about music, and then I was like, oh yeah, I produce music, like my name is Krimsonn, and he's like, oh wait, you're Krimsonn? And I'm like, wait, yeah, I'm Krimsonn. Like, do you know about me? He's like, yeah, dude, I like tracks and whatever. And I was like, oh, this is so dope. It's never happened to
Yeah.
me, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think the most eye-opening thing for me is, and I would recommend this if producers that are in the same situation that I was. It was like for me, I wasn't that festival oriented. Like I didn't really go to much festivals and really didn't do all this stuff. I was there because growing in El Salvador, like
Yeah.
there's not many of that.
Yeah.
So the dance music scene is not really big. So I would just make music, in my headphones and everything. But like, I really think, playing all those tracks in like huge speakers with an audience, it really put me the perspective of like, oh, okay, I see why. I understand now some of the feedback I was getting from Reveal before, because I would send some tracks and they would be like, no, 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 like we need a harder drop or something like that. And I would be like,
Yeah.
no, but like I like this. But now I understood it at that point. And at that point I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is definitely not the type of music I want to make. I don't want to make these like club bangers and whatever. I want to start making, it was really eye-opening for me. I'm like, no, I just don't want to make this type of track. So when I made like music that you like listen to and that's it, maybe you can jump to it, but like I don't want to make those like bangers or whatever. I feel like there's enough of those, and I was like, I want to make something different, something melodic, and that's really was the most eye-opening thing for me in Amsterdam.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh my god, that's awesome. Let me write that down too. That's really really awesome because a lot of people I've had a lot of people talk about that. So like that's really cool. How do you deal with pressure? Pressure of music, pressure in life normally. I don't really know how your life is in Canada, but I mean, there has to be pressure, right?
Yeah, how to deal with pressure? Yeah, well, I think how to deal with it. I don't know. I mean, I think you need always some pressure in life, honestly, to do things like supposedly like. I mean, how do you call? I forgot the word in English. How do you say this? It's not anxiety. It's like what's something that you feel when there's like a lot of pressure and then you need to like, let's say turn in a paper for tomorrow that's like 10 pages and you haven't written anything. Like, what's the feeling that you get? How do you call that?
Scared,
Scared?
nervous,
It's like, yeah, maybe yeah, maybe nervous or whatever. I
nervous. You're
forgot
like,
it was supposedly. Okay, well, let's say pressure. How much pressure you feeling? How nervous you feel? Supposedly, there's like you know, like a bell curve. So like too little pressure is like bad because you're not gonna do anything. Too much pressure is also bad because you're gonna be like overwhelmed, But
yeah,
I feel like feeling the right amount of pressure, and really feeling it, getting like a little bit desperate and being like, fuck, I need to do this. I think that's really nice. I think that you need that sometimes to make things work, right?
yeah.
And so the way I deal with it, I guess, is just like I don't know. I guess use it to your advantage. Like whenever you have like a lot of pressure, just yeah. I mean, like if you have to finish, I feel like sometimes you can finish stuff. Like if you're talking about like let's say school or like a track or like the quality of a track or something, and you have a lot of pressure. I think that can be really helpful in making you more efficient because if you really didn't have that pressure, I feel like you'll make things much slower and maybe like lower quality. But when you have that pressure, I think it really pushes you, to go to the next level. So I guess I deal with it by, I don't know, using it to be better or something.
Oh, using it to your advantage. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Oh,
I
was it
try.
was it anxious?
Maybe anxious, maybe anxious. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're good. You're good. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I mean that's what I would say as well. Use it to your advantage. Grab it and fucking use it and make it better. It'll help. Yeah. So freak yeah. Oh my gosh. So, what okay, there's a lot of producers that are, a lot lower or not as known or whatever you want to call it. What advice would you give a producer, a new producer, to make an income? How to start with that, like the first thing you should do if they're trying to make money somehow from it.
It's tough. It's really tough. That's all I can say. No, I mean, I'd say ghost production probably. I think that's where it's gonna be. I mean, the streams like really don't pay anything. Like
Yeah.
um, you probably like if you get like a million streams, that's like probably not even $1,000. So it's like,
Oh wow.
and you're not gonna get like 5 million monthly streams. Like probably not. At that point, you're already like a big artist. So, I mean, it's really it's not the streams. That's something I can tell you. It's definitely
Oh
not the
wow.
streams. I mean, I'd say try Ghost Production, and there's this site. It's called SoundBetter.com. I love it so
Okay.
much. I think everybody should be on there because it's useful for, like, for example, if you're a singer or a songwriter, you go there and then people reach out to you, and it's basically like a freelance website but for music, and it's very curated, because not anybody can join it. Like, when you try
Yeah.
to join it, I think they sort of analyze your profile and then they let you in. But it's not like, it's not like, so I'm in there too. Like, people could reach out to that profile and be like, oh, I need some ghost production, and then I would just do it, and then I would charge them for it, and then that's it. I think that's like the best way to make music and the safest. Like, if you're good at something, let's say singing or writing songs or like producing or maybe just mixing and mastering, then go on these freelance websites and then put your services out there, and use the internet. That's how I do it. Like, I mean, I make some income, with ghost production, and it's mostly through the internet. Like, I don't even know these people in person, but like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I feel like that's how the safest way, like, write, produce, do stuff for other people.
Got
That
you.
yeah,
That's
100%.
pretty freaking cool. No, I actually never even heard of that. I didn't even know that was a thing. So that's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Hold on, I don't want to forget that. I can't believe it. We are on the last page.
Wow.
We did it. Well, we're not done yet, but we're on the last page. We are making great time.
Yeah,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
this is nice. It's chill, especially after.
Yeah.
So I told you I just finished exams and stuff, so I
Oh
need
yeah.
some like chill time, and this is nice, just like a nice chill talk about music, you know. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. You're
Not
helping
working.
me a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Chill.
That's awesome. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You want to see something cool?
Yeah. Oh, I think I know. I know your trick. I know your trick. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Boom.
I've never had somebody like see that and then do it back. I've never had that. That's so cool. I love that. Oh my gosh.
My dad taught me that, but it's so weird, like how even like, oh no, we're like from totally separate countries and we know that. So random, but yeah.
That's so funny. My dad taught me that too. That's
Yeah.
pretty funny. Oh my gosh. So do you prefer real instruments or samples?
It's tough.
Oh
I
my
would,
God.
I think, yeah, no, I think instruments, because you have more control. Like, if you could have like a, trumpet player, you make your melody, and then you have someone play the trumpet for you, and you're like, okay, I want it like this. No, I would be so happy doing that. Like, if I had so many, like, I hope one day that becomes true. Like, maybe I can look back at this and be like, fuck, it did happen. But I really hope one day I could just be like, okay, I need trumpets and I need strings for the song. So let's get people, and then you get people that know how to do that shit. And then I'm like, okay, I want this melody like this, play it like this. And then they play it. And I'm like, no, I need it more staccato. Okay, do it like that. But the thing is, when you deal with samples, it's like, sometimes I do this a lot. I grab the sample. I don't like the melody that the sample is playing. Let's say it's just like a flute or something, and then I just chop it up with individual notes and then rearrange the notes, and then I create my own melody. But it's just so like exhausting to do that because
Time
sometimes when you like,
consuming.
exactly, because I have to chop each individual note and then change the rhythm, rearrange them, and I'm like, well, I want this note to be like, let's say like A sharp or something, but it's like it's a D or something, so I have to like pitch it down, and then it sounds a little bit weird. And then sometimes what I do is like I look maybe for another A sharp like somewhere in the sample, and then I have to put it into place and then just do everything. And it's just like so time consuming and so annoying. It would be way better because I have the melody in my head, but I just have to sort of recreate it. And then I also use Melodyne to sort of change the melodies of like instruments and samples. But it
Oh.
would be way better if you could just have like um just real people. Imagine how cool that is. Like, you have a melody in your head and you're like, okay, please play this for me. And they would do
Yeah.
it and you would record that. That would be so sick, having real instruments. So I'd say real instruments.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. I was kind of guessing. I was like, I think he's gonna say samples, but no, that's really fucking cool. You said instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at work,
That's
but
you. What?
I work with samples a lot, but I just have like no, because I have no option, pretty much.
Gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. But I hope that changes one day for you. Of course, like that would be sick.
The
So
cool thing is like you can record a real instrument and use it as a sample.
yeah.
So that's an extra flexibility. Like you could record the real instrument, and then you could also chop it up in the way you like, or like just modify it the way you like. So I think real instruments for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh my gosh. My trombone, whenever I start making music, I want to use my trombone and my samples and stuff and me playing it. Oh my gosh, it's super exciting. But yeah, I agree with you in real instruments 100%. Like
Maybe, yeah,
freaking
maybe
dope.
I'll have to record a brass section for one of the songs.
Ah, that would be so cool. That would be so freaking cool. Oh my gosh. Oh. Don't get me so excited. I'm so freaking excited. Oh my gosh. So the next question is, what is your connection to jazz? How do you incorporate it?
Yeah, look, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to pretend. I feel like if I like sit here and start talking about blues and jazz, like I'm gonna say a lot of things like wrong, and people are gonna like shit on me for that. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I just really like how like the blues scale and like how like jazzy like swing stuff sounds. I don't know where that comes from. I think I just heard it like randomly, probably on the radio or like in some. I think some like even like some Disney movies I think have like some jazz influence. I think that like the Aladdin song with I forgot the name. A Friend Like Me, I think it's called. Which they
Oh,
like the genie blue guy like introduces
yeah.
himself or whatever. Like that's really like swing pretty much.
Yeah.
Like da 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 da. Da. And so it's like very and I think maybe that's where I heard it, and like maybe some other movies. I think what's this other name of this other movie? I think the what's the Frog Princess? No, the Princess and the
Princess of the
Frog or some
Frog.
shit like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that also has like a lot of like jazzy influence. Like all the like the soundtrack is very like. So I feel like maybe I heard it and then that's where my tastes sort of like I don't know formed maybe, and then I just heard it again somewhere else, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Let me incorporate this to my music. And by the time I was like adding it to my music for the first time, I really didn't even know what to call it. Like I didn't know it was called swing. I didn't really know any of the terms. I just like the vibe. I just like the vibe, and I just sort
Yeah.
of added it, and yeah, that's pretty much how it started. But I don't really know a lot. But I think jazz players like I really respect them because it's a lot of improv too, and the chords that they play are like fucked up.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute this. I'm gonna mute that.
Yeah.
That never happens. Are you kidding me? Like that's just freaking crazy to me. That never freaking happens.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but I got you. I got you. Yeah, no, but I know what you mean with that. The Genie, the Friend Like Me song. There's this rap song. I forgot who did it. I forgot, but they do like the same, but incorporate it with rap. Dude, it's actually really freaking cool. Like, oh, and then it gets into like rap, and then it's like, oh shit. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But oh, wrong one. Okay. So, what are your thoughts on Avicii?
Oh yeah, Avicii. Yeah, yeah. You really did your research preparing for these questions. No, yeah, Avicii is literally like, I think, the musician that I look up to the most. I feel like Avicii and then this other guy, John Bellion, and then Kashmir maybe are like on the three only artists that I could say like I love everything that they've made. But yeah, I just think Avicii. I'm gonna go on a rant here for a little bit and tell
Go
you
for it.
why Avicii is one of the greatest artists. And I have many arguments. Okay, I've been thinking about this. So, because I just think it's so. I mean, if you go at his profile, like on Spotify, his streams are ridiculous. So many streams, so many streams. But for me, the most important part about that is like it sounds like it's his song. Like for example, when you listen to, and it's something that I would really like to do with my music one day. Maybe I'm doing it, maybe I'm not. But like when you hear an Avicii melody, you know it's Avicii, like regardless of what. You know what I'm saying? But if you go in like the top 10 right now, and hear some like R&B song or something like that in Spotify, like if someone else would sing that song, you wouldn't really know who wrote it. I mean, I'm saying like, they're good songs, but they don't really have a lot of character most of the time. Like, you hear it like, I don't know, like a ballad song or something like that, and like the melody's nice, but you wouldn't be able to tell who wrote that melody because it's a good melody, but it doesn't have a lot of character. And I think Avicii's music has a lot of character. Like you hear an Avicii melody, and like you can tell it's an Avicii melody.
Yeah.
But I think the mix of that, and also like he was a guy that never really cared about anything else than the music. Like
Yeah.
you could tell he only cared about the music and that's it, because like he never really got into like a lot of trouble. I think if you go, like I said, you go to like he has billions of streams on Spotify, and usually the artists that have billions of streams on Spotify really have crazy campaigns when they try to promote their music. They try to say stuff that is controversial. They try to say stuff. I think a really good example, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think a good example of that is like Lil Nas X recently. Like all this stuff. I don't know why, but like people like it's like a controversial video where I don't know if you've seen it, like this song Montero from Lil Nas X.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I saw it. I saw it. I
Yeah,
saw
it
it.
has like this YouTube video where he's like, I don't know, like dancing and kissing the devil or some shit like that. And then some people like are triggered by that for whatever reason. But it's really smart. It's a good strategy because it gets people talking about you and everything. And then you say controversial stuff, and then you fight people on Twitter and stuff like that. And then, you know, artists do that because it's part, of like being an artist, promotion and whatever. But Avicii never did that. He was always super quiet, never went on these like talk shows, never did all of that, and still managed to get like huge streams. I don't know. I've never seen that. I feel like people that have the streams that Avicii has, they do way, way more than just the music. Like, for example, when you think about like Kanye West, you don't only think about his music, you think about all the cultural impact he's had. You know his personality, you know how Kanye works. And
Yeah.
I think the same happens for like most artists. They do something controversial. Lady Gaga was super controversial, at the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
especially because I feel like at that point where Lady Gaga was like really, popping off, like being famous, I feel like LGBT rights weren't really respected back then. So
Yeah.
that was like, I feel like a lot of people, at least I remember, like, in El Salvador, like a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, you're like," I don't know. I think people were telling her like she was transgender or something, and that was like, like a bad thing or whatever, and that was also really controversial.
Oh God.
And which is obviously fucked up, right? But I mean, it worked for her, right? All these controversies and stuff, and I just really admire how Avicii never really had to do any of that. It was just the music.
Yeah.
He was just the guy behind the music and just did that, and that's it. I think that's something pretty cool. Not having to do all these like crazy shows and wear like crazy outfits and do like outrageous stuff. I
Yeah.
think it's just really nice how he did that. Without any need of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
really
fucking
respect.
awesome. I think that people that do go out of the box like that, I don't think all of them necessarily have to do it. I think a lot of them want to do it. They want to be like that. They want to be out of the ordinary and stuff. But
Yeah,
like you said with Avicii, wow, really respected. Do you have a favorite song from him?
it's really hard. Maybe I think maybe I Could Be the One is one of my favorites. I just really like that melody. I usually vibe with it, and maybe yeah, maybe that one or Waiting for Love. Yeah, I Could Be
Oh
the
my
One or
gosh.
Waiting for Love. Yeah, I think those
What
are
do
the
you
two of
think
them.
about SOS with Aloe Black?
I like it. I like it, but it's not really. I mean, it was a little too pop for me. Like I was
Huh.
like, yeah, I like the song, but it's like it's like maybe like I don't know, it's a little slow. So I was like, okay, it's cool. I hear it. I like it, but I didn't like it as much as like the older stuff.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, that was really cool. I love
Yeah,
that. I love that. So you work out, right?
yeah, I try to.
Does it help with your mental health and how so?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I would say yeah, 100%. It's just like it really. I don't know. Like if you ever go to the gym, like it's just time for yourself. I mean, you go, you're in your own little world with your headphones, and then you let all your anger out with the
Yeah.
weights. If you're angry at life, frustrated at something, you just go and lift like heavy shit, and you'll feel better. Like you just, it's like I don't know, if you're trying to be better at the gym, lift more, it like, yeah, whatever you're going through, like just go there and just push hard, and then it's just like a nice outlet, you know. Like you'd rather do that than just like sit in your room overthinking. Maybe just go to the gym and just like, you know, get a nice
Yeah.
pump and lift a lot. So I think it's nice because like if you're angry, you can go to the gym, work out, and then you'll feel better. You use the anger, and then if you're happy, you can go to the gym, work out, and use your energy from being happy to live more. So either way, like it's always nice. It's always nice. For me, it's the best part of my day. I'm not even that good at. I suck. Honestly, I suck. I try my best. I try my best. I try my best to lift heavy, but I fucking suck. I love it though. I love it though. You know, it's the first thing I do like every morning or most mornings, and I really recommend it. You know, it's like you need to do exercise anyway, so might as well go to like you should, right? For health
Yeah.
in general, opportunities for people, or you know, speaking about mental health, which I really care a lot about. So I'm like, I think my ideal goal would be like, yes, keep making music, but also get a really big platform and use that platform for good, you know, especially in terms of mental health and opportunities, because I really feel strongly about those two things, you know, because I also feel like there's tons of people that are very talented that just don't have the opportunities, and then people that are not talented that had the opportunities and now they're taking advantage of that. So I feel like, you know, that fairness about opportunities, I would really like to do something about that. So ideally, yeah, I would get like, you know, successful music, have this big platform, and try to use it, you know, for good. I feel like that would be like, you know, that's like the goal. Who knows how it will end, but I'll aim for that, you know.
Got you, got you.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never heard somebody say that either. So learning new answers and stuff, because like it depends about, perspective. It's all about perspective. So to me, you do have a big platform in my eyes, but that's why where I'm a little confused. So you don't think what you have right now is a big platform?
I mean, no, not the biggest though. Like I'm talking like I'm just talking about like I see huge. The thing is, I don't want to say any names because what if I collab with them later or write for them later? I don't want to like shoot myself in the foot already. But like I think, um, let's see. They're just talking. I'm talking about like, you know, artists that are in the top 10. You know, like the platform that
Okay.
they have is huge. The things they say, you know, if um, they say something about a brand, people will listen, right? If they say like, "Oh, I don't like this brand anymore," it's like, you know, out of fashion or whatever. Then people are like, "Oh, okay, we're stop buying." Just so much power, and they don't use it for anything. And I'm like, how do these people have this much power and like just fucking like, I don't know, sold products and shit. Like that's what they do, you know, like put
Yeah.
ads on their page. No, but when I say big platform, I'm talking about really, really, really huge. You know,
Oh, okay.
like millions of
Gotcha.
followers. Yeah, like that's what I'm
Gotcha,
talking about.
gotcha. Okay, that makes sense because big is so different to anybody. Like
Yeah,
you can
I
look
get
at
it.
like 12,000 and like, oh my God, 12,000, like that's a lot. But to you with that definition, it's not, and it's not like big enough necessarily. But I get what you mean. That's pretty cool. But I do get what you're saying with the whole like they don't do anything with their power. They're just like doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like you have so much like influence. You can influence like many, many things, and like they just don't do anything, right? Like, and it's like I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't know why nobody's doing anything. Like, I don't know, but I totally would. Like, I'd probably get involved in I don't know in politics or some shit probably too. You know.
Yeah, oh my gosh. No, I totally get that. Fuck. A good answer. Oh my gosh. Well, obviously, any answer is a great answer. But so we are going to play this song, Crimson. I won't lie. Let's do it.
Oh, you push me away. No, I won't lie. Can't believe I miss you, but tonight, fuck what people say. Let me clarify. I don't give up. Déjame vivir mi vida sin no más. Ya me cansé cansé de ti, ¿para qué te cuento? No busques nada conmigo, no entendés. No hay nada que hacer, ya se pasó el momento. Oh, you push me away. No, I won't lie. Can't believe I miss you, but tonight. Fuck what people say. Let me clarify. I don't give up. Déjame vivir mi vida sin no más. Ya me cansé de ti, ¿para qué te cuento? No busques nada conmigo, no entendés. No hay nada que hacer, ya se pasó el momento. You push me away. No, I won't lie. Can't believe I miss you, but tonight. Fuck what people say. Let me clarify. I don't give up.
Holy shit! So was that a flute? Was that a flute or like a piccolo or like a, I don't know what woodwind that was.
A flute, yeah, that's a flute.
Friggin', I knew it. I'm like, that sounds like a flute. That was nice. And oh my gosh, I can't even don't even get me started on the second drop. Are you kidding me? That was nice. I like how you have a little surprise in each one. Like that trumpet was very surprising in the last one.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I think I didn't hear the song, but I think I know exactly when that last dropped. You know, when it dropped. I was like, yeah, because it's unexpected. It's definitely unexpected. People like that part, and yeah, I'm glad people do.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because I mean, if it was the same as like the first drop, I still would have been happy about it. I wouldn't be pissed off. I would just be like, damn, I would still be vibing. But holy shit, that's why I was like, oh my god, because it like, that got me. That got me hooked. It was nice.
Like,
that.
Yeah. That's one of the things where, like, for example, that like I was listening to the other track that did a similar thing. It wasn't even an EDM track. It was just a pop track that just had like you know, like I don't remember, I forgot what tempo. Maybe it was like 100 BPM or something like that for the rest of the track, and then it switched in the middle of the track to a lower tempo, and I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. I can do that. Maybe grab that idea of like switching to a lower tempo, and I can just do it at the end and then finish like strong. So you know, that's like one of the examples of the things that I was telling you earlier. Like when you're stuck on a track and then you just randomly hear something somewhere else, you know. Like I got this idea from a pop track, and this is really not pop; it's more dance. But you know, you grab the idea from somewhere else, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I can incorporate that and use that in my own way." So
Oh my god, it was really freaking nice. Meeting you and hearing your music, it's just a whole different level of connection. Totally different. You know, if I would have just heard it, but hearing like what you meant to do, like the backstory I mean, personally, that's what I like a lot more. There's a deeper connection, you know. Freak yeah. So there are audience questions. So you already said, what areas of music would you like to get into since you've been studying business? Would you like to join companies like Spotify?
Interesting. I would be dope, honestly. Like I never really thought of it. You know, I've always like separate. You know, like my degree in music. I've always separated them. But you know, it would be cool. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it would be. It's a good idea. I'll try.
Fuck yeah. Oh my gosh. So he said, do you have any business venture ideas in mind?
Business venture ideas. Uh, maybe, but maybe they're secret.
Yeah.
No, actually, I do have. I think I there's this idea. I actually don't want to say it because I think it's fire, and I think I don't want people to steal it. But there's this idea, and it has to do with music, and I feel like it would be really dope with music and artificial intelligence. So maybe, yeah, maybe a mix of those things could be really good in the future. We'll see. We'll see. But I think also, just speaking about like business ventures in general, I think it would be nice to have a studio. I feel like that would be dope. Like, because if you have like your own, and then, I don't know, set up my own studio, have people come in and pay hourly for like a session or something like that. That'll be pretty dope. And that's like a business, and it's also music, so it'll be really sick.
Hell yeah. Oh shit, hold on, I missed one. So the next one says, what would be your dream collab?
Dream collab. Avicii, but rest in peace. It's not gonna happen. Um. Oh, what's going on?
Turtles come out and they come all the way up in my backyard, and so the dogs freak out when they see them because they just
Oh,
want to mess with them.
wow.
And I'm just like,
Protect.
turtles. Bro, I have a whole freaking zoo in my backyard. I don't know where all these animals came from. I tell people, I'm like, I'm a princess. I talk to animals. Oh my god. No, but the next one was, do you have any goals for the years that are coming ahead?
Yeah. Let's see. Goals for the year. Well, I mean, just random goals. I feel like I wanted to start reading more. I feel like everybody should read. I think I mean it has nothing to do with music, I know, but I think
No, you're
I
fine.
recently have gotten into like audiobooks, and there's just so much useful. Like I really didn't know how useful it. Because like I hate cooking, for example. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know why. I'm cooking, and I'm like I hate every second of my life while I'm cooking. But if I'm like listening to an audiobook about something nice. I've been reading some nice books. I feel like a lot more productive. Like I feel like I'm not wasting time. And if I go for a run, sometimes I hear an audiobook. So I feel like you know, I'm like getting smarter, getting more knowledge, and also getting more fit at the same time because I'm going for a run. So I'm like, yeah, this is nice. So that was one of my goals for this year, like just reading more. But in
Fuck
terms of music,
yeah.
I don't know. In terms of music, you guys just like being better at social media. I think that's another one of my goals.
Got you, got you. Now that
Yeah.
college is over, do you have any plans to binge watch any shows?
Binge watch any shows? Not really. I don't watch Netflix that much and stuff like that for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like what I'm gonna do is just like, chill for a little bit and then start working later. But I guess for now it's just gonna be music 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, you do whatever you want to do, but that's pretty freaking cool. So, anyways, that's the interview. We did it, and I just want to say thank you so much. I obviously, of course, will keep you updated when this is posted on YouTube and stuff. So, for other people to hopefully watch in the future, and it'll help them. Oh, of course, that's the goal.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. Hopefully, I hope it can be helpful for some people. And also, like, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's an honor for me. I had fun. Yeah, you're a good
Uh,
interviewer, and it's like a nice thing. Nice questions. It's just a good time in general. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, thank you. That means so much. Yeah, that means so much because I'm always about like making whoever I'm interviewing like chill. Like, hey, it's okay. Like we're just chilling. It's calm. I don't want
Yeah.
people to feel pressure about it. Like it's not that serious. So, anyways, bye, my dude. You can exit whenever you would like. Sorry, I never know how to like.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I'm getting kicked out already. Stop.
Oh
No,
my
but yeah,
gosh.
it's a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Of
Bye.
course. You're welcome. Bye.